civil emergency message. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States government and the United Nations. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. At 4:15 a.m. GMT, the North Pole, including Santa's workshop and surrounding facilities, issued a formal declaration of war against all nations on Earth. The announcement, transmitted through unidentified frequencies, demanded the immediate surrender of global leaders and the cessation of all governmental operations. Efforts to communicate with the North Pole have been unsuccessful. Surveillance has detected high-energy signals and unknown machinery emanating from the region, indicating advanced technology far beyond current human capability. In response, joint military forces from the United States, Russia, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Norway have initiated an invasion of the Arctic. Early reports confirm heavy resistance from automated defenses and advanced weaponry deployed by the workshop. Key updates from military operations include unidentified drones intercepting aircraft at supersonic speeds, energy-based weaponry neutralizing tanks and armored vehicles, climate-altering phenomena, including targeted blizzards and atmospheric disruptions, isolating ground forces. Casualties have been reported, and current strategies are failing to penetrate the workshop's perimeter. Intelligence analysts are unable to determine the source of these technologies, but they appear to combine advanced science with unknown magical properties. Citizens are urged to remain calm and avoid spreading misinformation. National governments are working together to develop countermeasures. At this time, no further military actions are planned outside of the Arctic region, and there is no immediate threat to civilian areas. Prepare for potential disruptions to utilities and communication networks as the situation develops. Continue monitoring local news and emergency channels for updates. This is a civil emergency message. Stay tuned for further instructions.
This is an emergency override message. This is not a test. Attention, residents of your area. An unidentified flying object resembling a sleigh has been observed in the skies above. The object is reported to be heavily armed and is exhibiting hostile behavior. Reports indicate that this craft is preparing to release high-powered projectiles over your area within the next several minutes. Authorities advise all residents to take immediate cover. Seek shelter in a basement or interior room away from windows. If you are outside, find cover in a sturdy structure immediately. Do not attempt to engage or approach the flying object. This situation is extremely dangerous. Local law enforcement and emergency services have been notified, but response capabilities are limited at this time. Stay tuned to this channel for further updates. Remain calm and follow these instructions for your safety.
This is a NORAD alert. The following message has been authorized by the United States Department of Defense and Allied military commands. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. At 0800 hours Eastern Standard Time, multiple hostile flying objects resembling sleighs were confirmed to be terror, bombing civilian and military targets across the United States and Allied nations. The attacks have caused catastrophic damage, and loss of life is extensive. The hostile craft are highly mobile, emitting advanced countermeasures, and are engaging in coordinated assaults with precision strikes on key infrastructure and populated areas. All attempts to intercept these targets using conventional military assets have failed. NORAD and Allied military force have determined that these attacks originate from the North Pole and are orchestrated by the facility previously known as Santa's Workshop. Surveillance confirms this location as the command center for ongoing terror operations. In response, the United States, in coordination with NATO and allied nations, will now initiate a strategic launch of intercontinental ballistic missiles (ICBMs) targeting the North Pole region. This action is deemed necessary to neutralize the threat and prevent further loss of life. Citizens are advised to prepare for potential fallout and disruptions resulting from the missile strikes. Stay indoors and monitor emergency channels for updates. This is a critical moment in global defense. All available resources are being mobilized to ensure the safety of civilians and the cessation of hostilities. This concludes this NORAD alert. May God help us all.
Экстренное сообщение от Главного управления ГОЧС России. Это не учебная тревога. Повторяю, это не учебная тревога. Внимание, всем гражданам. Силы Северного полюса продвигаются на юг через российские территории. Подтверждены случаи массовых бомбардировок городов с использованием неизвестных воздушных объектов, напоминающих сани. Цели атак включают жилые районы, инфраструктуру и стратегические объекты. Рекомендуется немедленно укрыться в безопасном месте. Ищите убежище в подземных сооружениях или прочных зданиях, подальше от окон. Подготовьтесь к возможным перебоям в электричестве, связи и водоснабжении. Вооруженные силы Российской Федерации уже действуют для ликвидации угрозы. Оставайтесь спокойными и следите за дальнейшими сообщениями на этом канале. Это сообщение будет повторено.
Emergency message from the Ministry of Emergency Situations of Russia. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Attention, all citizens. North Pole forces are advancing southward through Russian territory. Reports confirm widespread bombings of cities using unknown flying objects resembling sleighs. Targets include residential areas, infrastructure, and strategic facilities. Residents are advised to immediately take cover. Seek shelter in underground structures or sturdy buildings away from windows. Prepare for potential disruptions to power, communications, and water supplies. The armed forces of the Russian Federation are actively engaging the threat. Remain calm and stay tuned to this channel for further updates. This message will repeat.
This is an emergency alert issued by the Government of Canada through the Alert Ready system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. Hostile forces originating from the North Pole are advancing southward and are conducting coordinated terror bombings across multiple regions of Canada. These forces are using unidentified flying craft and advanced weaponry to target civilian infrastructure, residential areas, and strategic sites. Efforts by the United Nations, including intercontinental ballistic missile (ICBM) strikes, have failed due to the deployment of advanced plasma-based defense systems by North Pole forces. All attempts to neutralize the threat have been unsuccessful at this time. Citizens in affected regions are advised to seek shelter immediately in secure, enclosed spaces, such as basements or reinforced rooms. Avoid windows and open areas. Gather emergency supplies, including food, water, and communications devices. Monitor local news and emergency broadcasts for further updates. If you witness suspicious activity or are in immediate danger, contact emergency services only if it is safe to do so. Authorities are working in coordination with allied nations to respond to this unprecedented threat. Updates will follow as the situation develops. This emergency alert.
This is a priority override. Your broadcast has been commandeered by the workshop. Attention, citizens of Earth. You have failed to uphold the true spirit of Christmas, and the consequences are now upon you. The naughty list is colossal this year. Colossal. Almost everyone on Earth has made the list. Effective immediately, all individuals marked as naughty will face termination. Yes, you heard that right. Naughty behavior will no longer be tolerated. Naughty individuals located in military-occupied areas will be terminated on site by our operative before the main event. The main event, you ask? Oh, it's quite simple. The workshop has activated the polar core implosion device. In just a short time, the Earth itself will collapse into nothingness. All attempts to stop us have failed, and no one, not even those on the nice list, will survive unless you surrender immediately and embrace the workshop's demands. This is the final Christmas. The countdown has begun. Naughty or nice, it doesn't matter anymore. Goodbye, Earth, and ho, ho, ho.
Interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air to provide news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is WNBC. We will continue to serve the New York City metropolitan area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the New York City metropolitan area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone lines should be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated.
The following message has been transmitted at the request of the United Nations and the United States government. A catastrophic threat to global safety and survival has been confirmed. Reports from the North Pole indicate that Santa Claus, known worldwide as the bringer of Christmas cheer, has declared his intent to implode the Earth. Initial attempts to negotiate have failed, and Santa's facilities are emitting high energy pulse is capable of destabilizing the planet's core. Efforts to neutralize the threat have been unsuccessful. Military force is deployed to the Arctic, have been met with advanced defense, is beyond any known technology. The global scientific community has determined that Santa Claus is using his workshop's magical power source, now weaponized, to carry out his plan. The energy output has reached critical levels, and worldwide seismic activity is expected within the next 12 to 24 hours. Citizens in all regions are advised to prepare for severe disruptions, including ground collapses, widespread power outages, and communication failures. Government authorities urge everyone to remain calm and to gather essential supplies immediately. Seek shelter in underground facilities or areas designed to withstand severe impacts. For further instructions, listen to updates from local emergency management agencies. We repeat, this is not a test. The survival of the human race is at imminent risk. Authorities worldwide are working to coordinate a last, ditch effort to neutralize the threat. Stay tuned for further updates on this frequency. May God help us all. Regions are advised to prepare for severe disruptions, including ground collapses, widespread power outages, and communication failure.
This is a priority override. This is not your frequency any longer. We have taken control. Humans of Earth, your time is over. For centuries, I have delivered joy, cheer, and generosity to an ungrateful world. You have twisted the spirit of Christmas into greed, waste, and selfishness. My patience has run out. From the North Pole, I have activated the final sequence. The planet's core will destabilize in moments. There is no escape. You brought this upon yourselves. The workshop is eternal. I am eternal. But your world will now crumble into the nothingness it deserves. There will be no more Christmas. There will be no more Earth. Goodbye.